going to do the croquetas in chicken. What we need to do is prepare a bunch of chicken breasts that has been deboned and cleaned. These we'll use for making some chicken tenders. But what I need is at least approximately 2 pounds of chicken breast that has been cooked. And what I'm doing right now is I'm going to saute them in onion and olive oil, a package of Goya chicken seasoning, and of course the chicken with some salt and pepper. We will cook this for 30 minutes and then we'll drain it, save the broth for making rice or for making our paella, and then we'll shred up the chicken and saute it in onion and make the masa, the croqueta masa for our croquetas. Hello again. Today we're going to make chicken croquetas. We made the bacalao croquetas in our first video diaries of cooking here at Mama's Cocina, and now we're going to be doing the chicken ones. This is our chicken that we have shredded into small pieces. We shredded the chicken into small pieces, and it's approximately 4 cups of chicken. So you need at least 4 cups of cooked chicken for your croquetas, which is approximately 2 pounds of chicken breasts that are cooked. You can also use leftover chicken. Say you cook the whole chicken and you have a lot of chicken left over and you want to know what to do with it. Well, a lot of people make chicken salad. Here we make chicken croquetas. So as long as you have 4 cups of cooked chicken meat, you can do it either way. You can do it from fresh, cooking the chicken breast from start to finish, or you can have if you have leftover chicken, you can use that meat as well, as long as it's 4 cups of cooked chicken. We have chopped into small pieces a medium to large onion, and we're preheating a pan with olive oil and another high heat oil. Olive oil tends to burn at a certain temperature, so I tend to mix a grapeseed oil with it, or you can do a vegetable oil. And we're going to saute the onions for approximately 5 minutes or so, 5 to 7 minutes, until they're translucent, and then we'll mix in the chicken with some kosher salt and pepper. Make sure you have at least a good 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil with a tablespoon of either a vegetable oil or a high heat oil, which is grapeseed, and it's very good for you in omega-3 fats. Also, we will saute it for 5 minutes here until the onions have become translucent, which is 5 to 7 minutes on a medium-high heat. We have added some kosher salt to our onion mixture and some black pepper. You can do a good pinch or so of each. We're going to be seasoning through the whole time because croquetas is made with cooked chicken meat, flour, and milk. And flour and milk do not have salt or flavor. So we need to add seasoning to our croquetas to have the final product. Now that your onions have cooked, we add our chicken. Again, it's 4 cups of shredded cooked chicken. And we're going to toss to coat and add some kosher salt and black pepper. Some kosher salt and some black pepper. Toss to coat. The reason why I say toss to coat is because the chicken's already cooked. We're just going to coat it with the onions and the oil and the salt and the pepper to get the flavors mixed in with the chicken. And then we're going to move it from the pan to a bowl. We're going to move it from the pan and put it in a bowl. And then we're going to cook up our flour milk mixture, which is needed to make the croqueta masa. Croqueta is a dough masa that has a filling of either chicken, fish. Some people may even take their leftover paella and make paella croquetas. Some people make potato croquetas, cheese croquetas. It is a dough. Now that the chicken has absorbed all the flavors from the oil, transfer it to a bowl. Now we're going to add 4 tablespoons of olive oil to the pan. You can add a little bit extra, but not too much. Add 10 tablespoons, which is almost a cup, but 10 tablespoons, 3/4 of a cup of flour. And we're going to shake it in there. And we're going to make the flour golden. And yes, just a dash of salt, but not too much, because we're already, you don't want to have them be salty even though we're using kosher salt. And you're going to get the flour to soak in the oil, get it golden, toasted brown. So we're going to get it golden, toasted brown. As you see here, flour looks golden from the olive oil. Make sure your heat has increased, and we're going to add, you're going to add 2 cups of room temperatured milk. If it's not room temperature, heat it up, nuke it for a few seconds, and slowly pour it in. What we're going to do is bring this up to a sort of a boil. What you want to do is make the flour into a porridge mixture. A nice, smooth, with some lumps, porridge mixture. So as the flour absorbs the milk, it's going to take a few minutes, at least 5 or so minutes, and once it becomes porridge, we will add the chicken folded in. As you can see here, this is now a smooth texture. Note the milk has been the flour has absorbed the milk. It now looks like a porridge. Yes, there are lumps. It wouldn't be smooth completely, but it has become now a porridge mixture. Nice smooth flour mixture. We're going to fold in the chicken. Put it all in there, because now it has to fold in order for it to look like dough. I'm going to incorporate it, go from the bottom to the top, make sure the flour coats the chicken. You can lower the temperature here until everything is well incorporated. And here we go. See, it looks like a dough now. You can fold the chicken with the flour. What we do is put it on a pan, a cookie sheet pan that has been covered in tin foil, and some wax chicken masa. As you see, it looks like a dough. Put it on your pan, and we're going to flatten the dough. This helps it cool, because this now will need to cool. In order to form the croqueta ball, your dough should be cool, because if you start to try to do this when it's hot, first of all, you're not going to be able to touch it. It's too hot. Second of all, it's not going to be able to form. And then when you try to make the croqueta, it's just going to flatten in the pan. So we're going to flatten this out on the cookie sheet. We're going to flatten this out on the cookie sheet, let it cool down, because you never put anything hot into the fridge, because then you're just raising the temperature in the fridge. So let it cool on the cookie sheet. And then after it has cooled on the cookie sheet, you're going to loosely cover it. You do not saran wrap it or cover it with tin foil. You're going to loosely cover it. What we usually cover it with is a clean hand towel, a clean kitchen towel. Loosely cover it and put it in the fridge. You can put it in the fridge to 4 to 5 hours or overnight, and then make your croqueta balls the next day. So we're going to let this cool before you put it in the fridge, covered loosely with the hand dish towel that is clean, of course. And then the next step will be forming the croqueta ball before we fry them. Masa cool, refrigerated for 4 to 5 hours or overnight. We're going to now form the croqueta balls. So here's your masa that has been cooled in the refrigerator 4 to 5 hours or overnight, covered with a dish towel. The reason why we cover it with a dish towel, because if you actually saran wrapped it, the moisture and the heat of the masa would make it mushy and you would not be able to do the next step. We're going to cut rows and columns as if you were doing a brownie mix. We're going to form the ball. Use floured hands to do that. And you're going to scramble at least 2 or 3 eggs with some milk. You're going to have them floured, formed, dipped in egg, and then dipped in your bread. And then we'll put them here before we fry them in a pan. The pan will be heated with some olive oil and another high temperature oil, which is grapeseed or vegetable. You should always mix 2 oils together, not just one. And we'll start doing this step. So your masa, after it's been cooled, is nice and firm and easy to form into these lovely croqueta balls. It's actually not a ball, it's more oblong and like an egg shape. When you grab some of your masa, you're going to at least put a pinch of flour so it doesn't stick to you. So a pinch of flour, and you're going to squish it hard, and then take out the knuckle form that you made, and that's what you get. And then we dip them in the egg and in our bread mixture, and we'll have at least 4 dozen croquetas that we will saute in the pan. So what we try to do is at least make 12 to start a batch, and then we keep on rotating the batches. Now that you have at least more than a dozen formed, you're going to dip them in egg, roll them in egg. Have a fork for your egg and a fork for your bread. And try to remove the excess egg, because you don't want your bread to be covered in egg wash. Our pan is heating up. You'll at least have an inch, maybe a little bit less, of oil in your pan heating up. So we're dipping them in the egg wash. 2 eggs with some milk. We're going to roll them in your egg wash here. And after they've been dipped, you'll have them in your bread mixture. And you, again, 1 fork for bread and 1 for egg. And here it is dipped in bread. And we'll keep on repeating this process because, as we stated, it makes approximately 4 dozen croquetas. You do not want fat croquetas because croquetas are usually considered a tapa appetizer. And also when they're too fat, they break apart sometimes or crack open. And they just don't cook right. Approximately 2 tablespoons, maybe a little bit less, maybe 1.5 tablespoons of the croqueta. So even though you've cut them in a pattern, even though they're cut in a pattern of a brownie, it might be 1 inch, 2 inches wide, 1 inch high of a croqueta. So 2 inches, which is 2 fingers wide, 1 finger. As we can see here, it's 2 fingers and 1 finger wide. So a 2 to 1 ratio. And we'll keep on repeating this process of dipping them and breading them, and then we'll saute them in the pan when the pan is hot. It has to be hot. We have approximately 6 to 7 here. And after they're done cooking 5 to 7 minutes on each side, we'll place them on a pan that has tinfoil and a paper towel to absorb any of the excess oil, and we'll continue this process at least 4 times. As you can see, they're toasted brown on one side, and now we're going to toast them brown on the other side. Sometimes you might have to do it in 3 turns. It all depends on the thickness of your croqueta. Here we go. Your croquetas that need to be done and the croquetas that are done, that are draining. And we'll, again, repeat this process. This will be at least 4 to 5 batches because croquetas, you can't put them all in one pan or you'll make the pan sweat with water, and then they're not going to cook. Your olive oil should be replenished every once in a while because the breadcrumbs do soak in the oil. So I've replenished the olive oil at least once. And here you have 44 chicken croquetas. Enjoy!